Not let him play the victim, let him play the loser. When he feels insecure, he starts to rail.
And Donald Trump was totally unhinged.
Is this who we want as a president? Is this who we want our kids to see? I don't think so.
Nikki Haley has finally been taking off the gloves against Trump, lashing out against his legal verdicts and his unhinged nature. I have a few clips I want to look at today with you guys, but I want to note first, just because Nikki Haley is calling out Trump doesn't mean that she's now a fantastic candidate. She has plenty of her own issues, but it's nice to see somebody finally in the party of family values actually holding him accountable.
The jury has now ruled. They have found him liable of sexual abuse. Do you not trust the jury and their findings, Ambassador?
I absolutely trust the jury, and I think that they made their decision based on the evidence. I just don't think that should take him off the ballot. I think the American people will take him off the ballot. I think that's the best way to go forward, is not let him play the victim, let him play the loser. That's what we want him to do at the end of the day.
Just to be clear, do you think it's disqualifying, Ambassador?
I don't think he should be taken off the ballot. I think the American people will decide if he's disqualifying or not. We don't do that, Kristen, in America. Anybody that wants to run can run.
Quite the turnaround from the first time she was asked this, where she just pretended to have no idea. And I do agree with her here. Sexual assault shouldn't necessarily remove you from the ballot, but it should be morally disqualifying for the voters. It's just refreshing to see a Republican finally not pretending like an impartial jury who analyzed the evidence and reached a verdict is just part of the deep state and the conspiracy. Like, real people still do exist on the right. That is refreshing to see. Here she is at a rally directly calling Trump unhinged.
And Donald Trump was totally unhinged. Unhinged. He was a bit sensitive, and I think his feelings were hurt, but he threw a temper tantrum out on stage, seriously, threw a total temper tantrum, and was talking about revenge. So after he talked about revenge and had a little something to say about me, that's fine. We raised $1 million online right after he did that.
And Trump was clearly upset. You could see the difference in his rhetoric after Iowa and after New Hampshire, where in Iowa, when Ron and Vivek pulled out and he won by a landslide, it was all about unity and bringing the party together. And since New Hampshire, where he expected and privately spoke with his team on wanting Nikki Haley to wrap up after, it's been all about attacking Haley, making fun of her natural Indian name, insulting her dress, and launching a tirade of personal insults. Here is Nikki addressing exactly that.
He has mocked your birth name. He has suggested you're not eligible to be president because your parents weren't born here. Of course, you are eligible. You were born here. But I'm curious, just big picture, what do you make of him bringing back this birther playbook against you? Do you think it will work in South Carolina and win over voters there?
I mean, honestly, Kristen, I laugh every time I see one of his tweets, every time I see him throw a temper tantrum, because I know Donald Trump very well. When he feels insecure, he starts to rail, he starts to rant, he starts to flail his arms, and he starts to get upset. When he feels threatened, he starts to throw all kinds of things out there. I would always tell him he was his own worst enemy. He's proving that right now.
She is actually spot on here. It's only when Trump feels threatened or challenged that he goes on the offensive with these outright just personal attacks. When he feels insecure, he also tries to massively show ego. Biden has the stock market go up. Trump has to post something about why, it's actually because of me. Nikki goes up in polling. He starts saying that she can't hold office because her parents weren't born here, the birther playbook. Here is Nikki when she's asked if she thinks that this is racist, however.
Would you go so far as to call those attacks racist, Ambassador?
I think that's for everybody else to decide. I think that they, the fact that he continues to go down these paths of saying things, is this who we want as a president? Is this who we want our kids to see? I don't think so. And look, he's just going to become more unhinged, Kristen. Hold on. It's going to get worse, because that's what he does when he feels like he's not in control.
Now, I personally do think it's racist. I think she's still holding back just a smidge here a bit, doesn't want to call racism real when, Republicans are her voters. cares, and none of them think it exists. But it is crazy how spot on of an assessment she was able to give of Trump. And I think that it helps legitimize her jabs that she takes at him and makes them land twice as hard. They're more genuine and they don't feel like manufactured just to like keep up with Trump and his insults and respond to his. And again, just want to clarify, this does not make her a good candidate. She's hawkish and bloodthirsty. She's pro-life. She said America has never been racist. She couldn't say slavery was the cause of the Civil War. It goes on and on and on, her own problems. But it's nice to see Trump's own party calling him out for who he really is instead of making thousands of excuses for him. If you enjoyed this video, we're Social Society. We're a commentary channel influenced by politics, society, and the economy. We are pretty left-leaning on this channel, but we're open to our right-wingers as well. The biggest thing here is having conversations that get everyone to the bottom of the truth. If that feels like something that could interest you, consider smashing that subscribe button, leaving us a like, or even commenting on this video. We even have memberships as low as $3 if you'd like to support, because the only way we become a society is together.